Installing the KOHLER Saile skirted toilet. For the installation, you will need the following tools: pliers or wire cutter, safety glasses, putty knife, adjustable wrench, Phillips and bladed screwdrivers, drill with assorted bits, and a socket wrench with assorted sockets. You will also need the following materials: wax ring, 3/8" supply stop, 12" flexible water supply hose, T-bolts, adhesive tape, and caulking. If the new toilet will not be installed immediately, temporarily place a rag in the floor flange to prevent gases from escaping into the room. This toilet requires a 12" minimum rough-in distance from the wall to the center of the floor flange. Cut or remove the baseboard if needed so the toilet will fit against the wall and directly over the floor flange. Install or relocate a 3/8" supply stop 8 1/2 inches to the left of the floor flange center and 7 3/4 inches measured from the floor. Use a putty knife to remove the old wax ring from the floor flange. Cut or fold the template at the finished wall line. Adjust the finished wall cut as needed to account for any interference with the baseboard. Position the template against the wall so the dashed circle is directly over the floor flange. Use adhesive tape to carefully secure the template to the floor. Choose a 5/32" drill bit for floors less than 1 1/2 inches thick, or a 3/8" bit for floors 1 1/2 inches thick or more. Drill 2 pilot holes through the template and into the floor at the locations indicated on the template. Remove and discard the template. For floors 1 1/2 inches thick or more, insert the 2 anchors provided into the drilled holes. The anchors are not required for floors less than 1 1/2 inches thick. Use a socket wrench to secure the 2 floor brackets to the floor with lag bolts and washers. Check for alignment between the holes in the side of the bowl and the floor brackets. To do this, lift the bowl with assistance and position it over the floor brackets and against the wall. Make adjustments to the floor brackets as needed. Carefully remove the toilet to an open and accessible area. Securely hand tighten the water supply hose to the toilet fill valve. Do not tighten the nut with a wrench. Disassemble the inlet cover assembly by first removing the nut. Then press in the 2 tabs on the sides of the housing and remove the 2 halves of the cover. From behind the toilet, slide the inlet cover nut over the water supply hose, flange end last. Then feed the water supply hose through the hole in the side of the bowl. Fit the inlet cover housing over the water supply hose and into the hole in the side of the bowl. Secure the inlet cover housing to the bowl by hand tightening the nut. Do not wrench tighten the nut. Fit the 2 halves of the inlet cover over the water supply hose and press them into the housing until the cover tabs snap into the housing slots. Install 2 T-bolts into the floor flange. Press a new wax ring into the bottom of the wax ring plate. Secure the wax ring plate to the floor flange using washers and hex nuts. Tighten the nuts evenly using an adjustable wrench. With assistance, carefully lift the toilet and lower it over the brackets and into the wax ring plate. Press down evenly on the toilet until it is flush with the floor. Do not move the toilet after this step unless you replace the wax ring. Insert the screws and bushings into the holes and alternately tighten the screws a little at a time to secure the toilet. Press the screw caps over the screws and bushings so they are flush with the bowl surface. Connect the water supply hose to the supply stop. Thread the nut down the rod 2 inches. Measure and mark 7/8 of an inch from the end of each rod. Thread the rods into the button assembly up to the marks. Position the tank cover on top of the tank. The rods should rest on the top of the canister without depressing the canister buttons. Test each rod length by gently pressing each push button. Button should feel solid or only depress slightly before contacting the canister. If either rod is not making contact with the canister button, adjust the length of the rod as needed. Position the tank cover on the tank and retest the buttons. Remove the tank cover. Finger tighten the nut against the push button assembly. Position the tank cover on top of the tank. Open the supply stop valve. Flush the toilet several times using first one push button and then the other. Carefully inspect the toilet for leakage and proper operation. If the toilet runs continuously and the tank does not fill, the push-button rods may be holding the canister buttons down. Adjust one or both rods in as needed. Check the tank water level and turn the fill valve adjustment screw as needed to adjust the water level to the waterline mark. Apply a bead of caulking around the base of the toilet. Install the toilet seat according to the instructions included with the seat.